Good morning, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey, guys. Again, since this is one of my slow days, I have been working on my IVC restorations. Of course, you guys know I have an international IVC 820 and an international IVC 870. These machines were made in the 1970s. These are very high value machines. I mean, the value of these machines and the condition that these are in is, I've had people offer me, I've had a place in New Zealand. I mean, a guy was telling me online that the value of these are between $8,000 to $10,000 a piece in the condition that they're in. Due to the scarcity in rare formats such as this, none of them work. The majority of them are all beat to shit. And if you'd even find any of them, there's a few transfer houses that might have them, but not in this condition. These are like brand new. And this one guy says if you wanted to put a value on either one of these, and even had a guy at an auction house who actually left me a message. He said the value is between 8 to 10 grand a piece because of the scarcity of the format, the quality of the format, the condition of these machines, and I was blown away. It's about $20,000 in gear right here on these two historic pieces of equipment. Well, the only reason they're worth so much money is because like a Smithsonian or something like that, these people will fetch as far as 10, maybe 20 grand a piece for these because they are in serious need for these machines. When you got places that do historical video footage, and they have thousands of tapes, hundreds of tapes, many thousands of tapes, whatever the deal might be. They have no way of recovering the video without these machines. There is no other machine that will play those tapes. You got to have an IVC. And most of the historical places and archive places know this. This is why these machines go for some very, very big bucks. So I was very, very fortunate to get these on a donation out of Ohio. And these were sitting up inside of a house for many, many years, and apparently they weren't really beat on or used a hell of a lot. So I took it one step further with the restoration. You know, of course, I did all the cosmetics. I got all the painted covers on now. As you can see, I'm working on today's bottom covers on the second one, and of course, you know the one I did yesterday, the 870. These are fully functional machines. We can make video heads for these machines now, which is just mind-blowing. So I'm actually able to make video heads. And this is a 1-inch type of broadcast format of the time. Very high quality, very condensed, very small units, very, very heavy. But they're smaller units compared to the editor that's in my living room. And very well built. This is what you call mainframe video broadcast equipment in a compact form. In most television studios, a lot of video equipment was very huge, very big, not portable. You couldn't move it around. Something like this could be brought on location and connected to a system, a switching system, and they can go directly off cameras if they wanted to record directly the tape. These were very mobile, very movable, and very, very accessible anywhere you wanted to take them. But it's an actual broadcast format. Very, very, very unique machine. There were several of the models made in the 70s. This company did go out of business. They didn't last very long in the video end of making this stuff. These were sold to schools, television stations, broadcast ends. Most TV stations would dub anything of value down to videotapes like this, to decks like this, you know, from 2-inch quad. 2-inch quad was very, very expensive tape. They would reuse the quad tape every day, and if there was anything of high value, they would dump down to a 1-inch tape like this on a machine like this. This is what makes these machines very unique. Anybody who comes with stacks of 1-inch tapes most likely was recordings from a TV station at some point that was dubbed down to these reels for safety. This is a very, very unique position to be in with a machine like this, because I do get lots of calls on 1-inch tapes. And if you don't have the machines, you can't recover them. And if you try to get this stuff done, and I emphasize this, people who do this work, who even have machines like this, the cost is astronomical for tape collections. You will pay many, 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 many thousands of dollars to get these done. And most people cannot afford to do this. This is where Obsolete Video Services comes into phase. We buy the equipment. We restore the equipment. We have an accessibility to use it and have user-friendly ability for the customer to sit down and watch me convert the tape on access on the spot to take their video file or file to a USB hard drive, whatever they want it, and they'd be able to recover the footage. This is the whole point about this, guys, getting the footage recovered and saved from these formats. There may be a holy grail. It could be the Super Bowl I complete could be on tapes like this. God only knows. But anyways, it's a very, very unique format. This was widely used for dubbing down for safety tapes from 2-inch quad tapes and television stations. A lot of TV stations didn't have the ability of keeping video saved on 2-inch quad tapes because of how expensive they were. So they would dump them down to a format like this on a lesser 1-inch broadcast tape for safety, and they would be kept. And less weight, they weren't as heavy, they were easier to store. And the 1-inch tapes at that point were a little cheaper than the 2-inch quad tapes, which were astronomical. So this is a very, very unique machine. Like I said, it's a 1-inch alpha wrap broadcast type of deck used in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. There were a bunch of models made, and these happen to be 2 perfect museum pieces that are in full function quality. I mean, I'll be able to do video transfers off of these and recovery of archives that would be mind-blowing. So I hope you guys are enjoying my work on these IVC restorations. Anyways, wanted to walk over and show you guys. We did put all the new panels on the bottom of this one now on both sides. This is not easy to take apart. This is pretty hard work to do, actually. And but anyways, these have side panels and upper panels. Everything is repainted to the closest matching color that there was. So it looks virtually identical. You can't even tell the difference. Everything gets taken apart. We don't just tape anything up. We take it apart, spray the parts individually, and then repaint them. So they look like it came right out of the factory. Anyways, just want to show you the inner workings of these machines. The inner workings of machines are heavy. There's 3 or 4 motors in these that drive these. This is your capstan roller right there. I did put brand new power capacitors up here and down here. They were all dried out. The units would not power up when I got them. They literally would not do anything. It was just ridiculous. The 870, when I powered it up with the original capacitors, it caught on fire. So I had actually changed out all the power capacitors in both of these, which was a total of 6. But there is a giant capacitor in the back where there's a speaker, and I do have those in order. I'm going to change those out too because they're a little hummy. They do have a hum to them, so I'm going to change those out as well to bring the restoration project to a completion. But anyways, this is hardware mainframe broadcast equipment. On the bottom of these, this is your main plate that goes to the very bottom, and this is the cooling fan, which plugs into the wire here. These cooling fans are super powerful, made out of aluminum, and they blow cool air through the machine constantly because the temperatures get pretty high on these. If this fan is not spinning, or if it's not plugged in, or just isn't working at all, the deck will shut down. It has a lot of built-in safety features on this thing. Very unique format. Like I said, guys, I love these machines. These things are an amazing piece of video history. As far as doing video transfers, we got tapes coming from my buddy John, who has a lot of unknown 1-inch IVCs. We also got some great news. We got another IVC parts machine coming. I got it off eBay, and this guy has absolutely 10 different tapes. Probably don't even know what's on any of them. And those 10 tapes that I got coming with that machine, I will transfer and convert. God only knows what's going to be found down those. So I do have quite a bit of IVCs now. We're actually going to get to work on these machines and do some video recovery. Probably a lot of surprises, I could just imagine. And we picked up an EIAJ with a couple tapes from New York City. It's a 1/2-inch EIAJ reel-to-reel, which has a movie tape and a Democratic Convention tape from 76 and I think 73. And I'm going to convert those tapes, and that should have some real interesting stuff on it, especially the movie one for the Marx Brothers of Duck Soup, which will probably have great movie bumpers. It's probably be a very early recording. So we're going to have some cool stuff to post on these 2 tapes coming that's going to be on EIAJ. But we also have a lot of IVC 1-inch tapes coming, and we're going to start working on those. These machines work, and I own the machines, so I can automatically start working on that stuff. As far as the Ampex stuff, until we get those machines, we have, like I said, 3,000 of that collection. That's going to be the mother load that we're going to be working on. So you guys want to stay tuned for that stuff as well. Obsolete Video Services is getting a lot of rare videotapes. It's just astonishing that people who have these collections sitting in storage areas, my dad died, my mom died, my parents died, and they had all this stuff stored since the 60s in storage areas and different things. What are you going to do with this stuff? And I get calls like all the time, especially the people who called me about the Ampex stuff. They were a family where the parents died, and the old man recorded television and owned one of these machines, or owned an Ampex at that time. So once you have the machines, the collections come to you. When you get the tape collections and people are aware of what you do, especially with what I do, you'll get tape collections. And then you'll find holy grail stuff, sports, baseball, movies, you name it. The stuff that'll be found on these is going to be astronomical. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.